Happy New Year. My name is Aneem Awe, in case you're new here. And today I want to talk about specifically to those group of people who might be seeking asylum or, maybe they are coming to the United States for various reasons, escaping, fleeing some sort of trauma, some sort of persecution, whatever your reason is, this video is for you. So if you're locked in, tuned in, you are in the right place. And make sure you share this with somebody that could use this information. So my name is Aneem Awe. I'm a licensed mental health therapist, and I'm a forensic medical examiner. And so that is a class of professionals who do forensic evaluations. So essentially work with individuals who are victims of crimes and do these really thorough evaluations and kind of discuss or have conversations or help for the purpose of immigration individuals kind of share their stories around the traumas that they've experienced either from their governments or whatever the case is. So I'm making this video because I want to talk about the importance of having a good team for your immigration case. And so obviously you need an attorney. You need an attorney. I am not an attorney. I'm not giving any legal advice, but I want to give information about what's going to be useful for you. And so along with having an attorney, because that's a given, you also want to possibly consult a forensic medical examiner. So whether that's your primary care physician who's treated you since you've entered this country, or a mental health evaluator like myself, it's going to be important to have us along with your team, right? We're kind of seen as the legal team, even though we are not legal, we're not legal counsel or we're not the attorneys, but having us a part of your team can be really beneficial for a number of reasons. And that's what I want to discuss today. So without further ado, let's talk about why it's going to be important to have your team in place and how it can be beneficial to you and beneficial, most importantly for your case. So the importance of having a forensic medical examiner or examination is to kind of, again, as I alluded, many people are fleeing persecution, many people are fleeing extensive trauma, and as a result of that, there could be psychological impact that came along with that. There could be physical abuse that came along with that. And so our roles as professionals is to speak to that, right? And speak to that and why you going back to your country or going back to your homeland could cause further exasperation of those symptoms, right? Or could put you in further danger. And so with our examinations, what I'm looking for is to understand the trauma you were exposed to and kind of highlight that in great detail, right? And so often I deploy various assessment tools which assess the severity of your symptoms around the trauma. So if you are, reporting hypervisualization, which is often common with victims of trauma, if you're reporting, difficulty sleeping, difficulty with appetite, those type of symptoms do definitely go hand in hand with victims. And it's not exclusive to victims of trauma, but can definitely be a ongoing symptom to individuals who've been exposed to high levels of trauma. And so again, my role is to assess that trauma, but not only just that, speak to how that trauma impacts you here, now, and today, right? And so with that evaluation, we'd have that conversation again. And not only just having the conversation with you and documenting it, of course, and writing a really thorough report, but relaying that information with your attorney, right? And so part of having that team, right? Your team, your attorney's already established, but also you have your mental health professional, your medical professional on that team. And we're having continuous conversations because we need to know what angle is your attorney approaching this claim, right? Your attorney may be stating that, okay, we're going to approach this in the claim that this person has experienced psychological distress as a result of the trauma that they've been impacted by, or this person has visible, scarring and marks on them as a result of the torture they may have endured. And so that's going to be important for us to make sure that we understand so that when we're writing these reports, that we're all on the same page. And most importantly, we're all aligned for the purpose of your case and making sure that your case is the strongest that it could possibly be. So that team is just so important. And one of the things I always ask people when they reach out to me is like, do you have an attorney, right? Do you have an attorney on file, or an attorney that you're paying, or an attorney that you've consulted with, an attorney that you're working with, and you've had a discussion, you know what angle you're going with, like all of that is taken care of. It's so important in this day and age. And I know that it can be really expensive. I get that. However, I do think in terms of like having your case be as strong as possible, having an attorney should not be debatable. And there are attorneys out there who do pro bono work. There are attorneys out there or agencies that can align you with those attorneys. It will take a lot of digging, if you will, or creative resourcing. But there are definitely attorneys out there that are doing this work and are amazing at it. I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing attorneys to support some clients who are really in need. And so, again, just driving home this fact that we definitely need a team. And this isn't just for asylum cases. This is also for the case of like T visa, U visa, VAWA, right? Violence Against Women's Act. Even though Violence Against Women's Act suggests that it's only for women, it's actually for men and women, for all genders. And so having that additional support, if you will, or that additional, if you will, evidence that we could provide as professionals will really help you in your case. And so this 2025, we understand we got a new president coming, and so many people are, especially undocumented or people coming into the country for various reasons, are looking at what options that they have. And the number one thing that I always recommend is speak to an attorney. They know immigration law. They are the experts in immigration law. I'm not an expert in immigration law. However, I do understand that people come from various countries for various reasons and come here to seek refuge. They come here to be safe because they've experienced a number of unfortunate issues or unfortunate traumas, and that has a long-lasting effect. And so from my perspective as a licensed mental health professional, I can speak to that long-lasting impact, right? I can speak to how going back or being forced to be sent back to their country can cause ultimately further issues, right? Or cause a person to decompensate, or cause a person to, re-traumatize themselves by putting them back into that situation. And so from my perspective, this is why it's so important to have that team or that collaborative approach, and having us work within our scopes of practices to better support you. So in 2025, if you are going down this path, or maybe somebody that's going down this path, make sure that they watch this video and make sure they understand the importance of having that team. And again, if you are looking for more information around your case as it relates to, immigration, consult an attorney. If you need some information about some attorneys, I know some wonderful attorneys that I've had the pleasure to work with to support some amazing clients. And best of luck to you all. And again, share this with somebody that you think might need this information, because it's so important. And and I understand, again, I just want to reiterate that I understand that there can be a financial barrier to accessing these professionals and these services. However, I do see the great value and the need in helping clients understand that we want to be on your team, and we want to support you and your goals and your end goals, and make sure, most importantly, especially from my perspective, safety is so important, right? And safety, being able to determine like what that looks like, again, that's something that we can evaluate. That's something that we can discuss it within the report, and even within the evaluation component of the work that we do together. So let me know what questions that you have below. I have other videos that I've talked about in the past, what a typical evaluation would look like. So definitely check out those videos if you're curious, because I know, unfortunately, a lot of individuals outside of this country may not be as open and fluid around mental health, right? And it can be an uncomfortable conversation because there's still a lot of taboo associated with mental health. But it is so important to understand, being as truthful and honest and around some of these difficult situations, of course, in a trauma-informed way, because I'm trauma-informed trained. I train other people to be trauma-informed. And so we understand as a trauma informed professional, I understand how difficult it can be to recall certain information, especially when you've been exposed to really intense trauma. It can be hard to recall those memories or bring them back to the forefront. It can be uncomfortable to talk about those things just because how painful it was, both physically and emotionally. It can be really hard for you to go back to that place. So working with a trauma informed individual can be really important so that they are mindful of that. And there's other ways to navigate that so that we're able to get the important information that you need for your case. And again, going back to that team or collaborative approach, working with trauma informed attorneys, right? There are some seasoned attorneys that get this and understand this, and they know how to navigate that to make sure that they are trauma informed as well, to make you as comfortable as possible through this process. There's no guarantees here, there's no promises, but I just want to kind of share that it is important for this collaborative approach, especially for those of you who are going down this immigration path. Definitely, again, I can't say this enough. Consult an attorney first and foremost, and then come reach out to the people like me. So if you're in Massachusetts, California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Connecticut, I can definitely support you. If you want more information, we can talk one-to-one or leave me a comment below and I will respond. And yeah, happy 2025. Spread this information and best of luck to you all. Take care.